welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me and Bob here today and all the ducks in the garden. I thought today I would offer a small movement video, a little yoga asana with some fluid movements to help relax and release some stress. Just if you fancy something a little bit short and sweet, and nothing too complicated. So here we go. I hope you enjoy. So we'll start by focusing on the breath. Always remember, sitting comfortably. So if it's not good to sit with the legs crossed, you might like to extend the legs, come to a kneeling position, however works for you. We'll let the eyes close and just take a moment to bring the full awareness of the mind to the breathing. So don't be disheartened when the thoughts arise, but just if you realise that you're chewing on a thought, let the thought go, come back to the breath again. And without overly trying to control the breath, just when we bring our awareness to the breath, it normally helps the breathing to become more relaxed and steady. If it still feels a little erratic or held, try not to force it, just be with what is. And we'll take 3 more steady breaths here. Letting the breath expand all through the inner landscape of the body. And once your 3 breaths are completed, bring the hands to join in front of the body, relaxing the shoulders, and on an exhalation, letting the nose tip towards the fingertips so the muscles of the back neck can elongate. And whilst your head is forwards, you might like to use this as a chance to create a positive intention. If so, taking a moment to formulate that now. And we'll let the hands come back to the legs. Slowly raise the head in line with the spine. And then when you feel ready, opening the eyes and trying to create a sense of softness in your vision. So the eyes feel relaxed. Check that the jaw is also loose. We can often hold a bit of tension into our jaw, so it's always good to check in with that. And we'll change the crossing of the legs, bringing our less usual leg that we normally put in front, but again, if it's not good cross-legged, you can still remain seated with the legs out in front. And we'll bring the fingertips to line up with the top of our thigh bones. Again, softening the shoulders from the ears and pressing a little into the fingertips so the arm muscles draw into the bones. And then as you inhale, bringing the arms up, lengthening the arms above the head as the arms go up, softening the shoulders down. And then as you exhale, joining the hands together, bringing the arms back in front of the body. And on an inhale, scooping from all around. And the exhale, joining together and bringing the hands down. So we'll complete a few more rounds of this, just going at the speed of your own breath. Great way of helping to release a little bit of tension in the shoulder area. But also when we bring our movement together with our breathing awareness, it's a great way of just helping let go of thoughts of the mind Let's bring us here and now into the present moment. So we'll make one more rotation, finishing with the hands joining together in front of the body. And then we'll bring the arms up again. And this time we're going to bring the elbows so that they're level with the shoulders, as though you're making a right angle with the elbows, drawing the elbows a little backwards. So as we move in a rotation, just going as far as the muscles of the abdomen and back will take you. So starting with the right side, gently turning to the right. And then as you inhale, coming back to center. And exhale, turning to the left side. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, coming round to the right. Inhale, back to center. And going to the left. And coming back to center. From here, we're going to inhale to stretch the arms up. The exhale, taking the body in a rotation, but this time right hand to the ground behind, left hand to your right knee. Soften your shoulders down, soften the abdominals, gently twisting the ribs without a sense of hardening. Let the face relax, soften your jaw, soften the eyes, finding a steady, smooth breath. Our twists are really beneficial to help release stress and become more relaxed. Great for relieving anxiety. And keeping holding your twist, what we're going to do is a nice movement for the neck. So just making sure you're extending the neck muscles up through the back of the head. And on an exhale, just the head turning towards your left side. Looking back towards the front position, the body still in a twist. And on your next exhalation, going back towards the right side with the head. Taking a few more breaths there in a twist. And then on an inhalation, raising the arms up, coming back to the front. And on an exhale, turning to the left side. So the left hand behind, right hand to the knee. Soften the shoulders from the ears, relax the face. Find the steadiness of the breath. Don't worry if your mind wanders, just always remember your mind wanders, come back again to the breathing, using the breath to help give you that space between your thoughts. And we'll keep the body as it is again and turning just the head back to face the front. So turning towards the right side now. After a couple of breaths here, we turn the head back to look towards the left side. And then on an inhalation, returning back to the front, raising the arms up, softening the shoulders away from the ears, spreading the fingers, and releasing the arms back down. We'll just bring the hands to the thighs for a moment and taking the shoulders around and back. And from here, I'm going to come into a kneeling position. So if it's not good for your knees, stay either seated with a cross-legged position or with the legs out in front. Going to come to a sidewards opening for the spine, which the lateral movements are really good. They're the ones we do least in our day-to-day life, and it's very good for the spine to help keep it mobile. Always remembering though, with any movement that I offer, it's an invitation. If it doesn't feel right for you, please leave it out, always listening to your own body. Your body is always the best teacher for you. So we'll bring the hands back in line with the thigh bones and bringing the left arm up, softening the right elbow, coming towards the right side. Gently lifting the armpit towards the sky. And from here we'll inhale the right arm up and then bringing the left hand down, softening the left shoulder, leaning to the left side, letting the armpit rotate up towards the sky. And inhale, coming up and going again to the right side. So as you move from side to side, as much as possible, keeping the opposite side of your pelvis downwards. So that really grounds your spine and very good for engaging pelvic floor, helping to keep the support there. So we'll inhale to come up and then finishing to the left side. And inhaling up and bringing the hands slowly down. And from here we're going to open the knees wide and let the arms extend forwards to coming into forward child's pose. So this is a great position for help creating length in your lower back. If you're feeling a little bit tight there, just pressing into the hands. If it feels a bit tight in the hips, you may prefer to stay a little bit higher up, letting the forehead soften so you're bending a bit more into the elbows. So again, just going with what feels good for you. If you can, touching the forehead to the ground or using a blanket or some sort of support. When the forehead presses to the ground, it's very relaxing for our central nervous system as it stimulates the vagus nerve. And then from here, we'll bring the shoulders forwards. I'm just going to turn to make it easier. You can stay as you are. Coming into a tabletop onto all fours, the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. So with our tabletop in neutral, we have the sense that the navel is just lifting a little bit towards the spine, so there's engagement through our core muscles. Then on our cow position, we're moving the top of the pelvis a little down to create a little arch, downwards arch through our lower back, and then as we exhale into our cat pose, lifting up through the navel, letting the head release down, neck muscles soft. Again, as you inhale, coming into your cow pose. On the exhale, coming to your cat pose. So moving back and forwards through your two positions. Again, let the use of your breath flow you into those two positions. Having the mind, the awareness in the pelvis, and observing how the movement of the pelvis flows up through every vertebrae. Seeing if you can get each vertebrae working as its own individual piece. And then we'll come back to a neutral position. From here we're going to let the arms extend, the hands extend a little further away from the knees. Bring the shoulders over the wrists and just check the inner hands are really firmly pressing down. We're going to turn the toes under. Before lifting into our downward dog, we'll press the hips back towards the heels so we can lengthen through the trunks of the toes. And then moving the shoulders forwards again, pressing into the hands and lifting up, bringing the knees away from the ground and downward dog. The thighs firmly pressing back to the wall behind you. And from here, if it feels comfortable, taking your dog for a walk, slowly bending alternate knees to warm up through the backs of the legs. And then let the heels be even. And slowly bringing the knees back down to the floor. We'll come back into our forward child's pose, forward virasana, letting the arms extend forward, sinking the hips back towards the heels. And in this variation, we'll take that into a lateral movement by walking our hands towards the right side, bringing the body towards the right inner thigh. Hands kept at shoulder width apart, pressing the left sitting bone back towards the left heel, and reaching through the left fingers. And then walking the hands back to a central position. And then coming over to the other side, to the left side, pressing the right sitting bone back, reaching through the right fingers. And then walking the hands back to a central position. Let the shoulders lift up again. We're going to come back to downward dog, so I'll turn, you don't need to. Hands shoulder width apart, toes curling under when you're ready. Lifting the knees up, coming back to your downward dog. Downward dog is wonderful for helping to clear the mind, gives a flush out of the head, brings lots of oxygen rich blood to the head, very soothing, and also great for strength building as well. So we'll just take a few more breaths here. And then bringing the knees back down. Taking a few breaths back in your child's pose. If it feels nice, you might like to take the hands alongside the hips now. Just whatever feels good for you to really relax the shoulders. And we'll lift the body up away from the thighs. It's a nice quick session today, just nice and gentle, keeping it easy. We're just going to come down to the ground for a few simple movements before we come to our relaxation. So coming to sit at the front of your mat, coming to sit at the front of the mat with the knees bent so that you can roll backwards. So if you need a little bit of support for the lower back or abdomen, use the hands to the floor, or even if that doesn't suit, roll to the side and come to the ground instead. If you wanted a little bit of work for the abdominals, reaching the fingers forwards, minding Gingus's tail, and slowly rolling back towards the ground. So from here we'll just let the feet come a fraction closer so that we've got a nice softness there in the hip flexors, the arms relaxing beside the body, palms facing up so the tip of the arm bone is rolling back, and that will help to soften the shoulders to the ground. Just taking a couple of steady breaths, letting the body completely relax to the floor. Taking 3 more breaths here. And then after your 3 breaths, we'll let the knees begin to sway from side to side, so they're like windscreen wipers. Great, so bringing the knees back to the centre. From here we're going to take our right knee in towards the body, holding the shin, let the left leg lengthen away. So you're pressing out through the left foot, squeezing that right knee close towards the body. It's really lovely to help release your lower back. It stretches all the way through from the hip into the lower back. And then we'll go to a complete stretch on an inhalation, raising the arms up, reaching both legs away. And then as you exhale, bringing the left knee in, squeezing that knee nice and close. Softening the lower back towards the ground, relaxing the face, finding the steadiness of your breath. And then reaching out through the leg, reaching out to the arms. And then as you exhale again, bringing both knees in towards the body, holding the knees, just gently rocking a little from side to side, giving a massage to the lower back. And then we'll come back to center. We're going to create a bit of looseness in our hips. It's always good to mobilize the hips, as that then helps to produce the synovial fluid, which cushions the joints, help keep them nice and fluid and mobile. So we'll open the knees wide and make 2 big circles that open away from each other. And then we'll pause and take that in the opposite direction. And then we'll pause, letting the feet come down. So we're going to come into another twist. As I mentioned before, they're so wonderful for helping to relax, helping to release stress. So with this, we're going to open the arms so that they're out to the side in a T shape with the body, pressing the backs of the arms to the floor, palms facing up. So we're going to off-center our hips to one side and let the knees go to the opposite side. So firstly, we're going to push the feet down to lift the bottom a little from the ground. So the bottom is hovering. Now we're going to swing it to the left side, put the bottom back down to the floor, lift the feet a little and let the knees go to the right. If you need a little propping onto the ground, just to prop the right outer leg, taking a towel or blanket, something to prop, a cushion, just whatever works for you. Gently pressing that left shoulder into the ground, reaching out across your fingers, across the arms, face relaxed. You might like to close the eyes and just bring the full awareness to your steady breath. So we're going to take 5 more steady breaths here. So bringing your full awareness to your breath for those five breaths that you take. After your 5 steady breaths, then slowly rolling the knees back to point towards the sky, bring the hips back to center, and take a few breaths with the body, pelvis, and feet all aligned. And then when you're ready, pressing into the feet again, this time we swing the hips a little towards the right side, bringing the hips down and letting the knees go across towards the left side. So pressing into the right shoulder, creating a bit of firmness across the upper body, so the right shoulder presses down and we'll reach out through the arms, then relaxing the abdominals, relaxing the legs, just letting the lower body become a little softened, bring the full awareness to your breathing. The mind begins to wander, just coming back to the breath again. And then after 5 more steady breaths, having the full awareness on the breathing. Once you've completed your 5 breaths, then slowly bringing the knees back into center, taking the hips back to center, having a few breaths there, and then bringing the knees up towards the body. When you're ready, having a good squeeze of the knees, really lovely to help lengthen the lower back. And this time we'll keep our thighs together and take both knees in a clockwise motion. So it gives a nice massage to the lower back. Really helps to release any tension around the sacral area, the part of the lower back that's in the pelvis. And then we'll go in the opposite direction. Just keeping the breath smooth and steady, having the full awareness of the breathing. And then from there, we'll bring the knees back to center and settle the feet down to the ground, ready for our relaxation savasana. So I'll talk you through relaxation pose, but then I'll sit up to make it a little easier to talk through your relaxation for you. So letting the arms rest comfortably away from the body so the palms can roll up. One leg at a time, extending away from you and letting the legs roll out towards the outer heels so the legs can completely relax and become heavy. If that doesn't suit your lower back, however, feel free to bend the knees again and place the feet to the floor, which can give a little more softening to the curvature of your lower back. You might like to roll the head slowly a couple of times from side to side. And then when you've been an even amount of times to both sides, then bringing the head back into a central position, just making sure that the nose tips a little towards the chest so the muscles of the back neck can lengthen. Not too much so that the throat tightens, just finding the sweet spot so neck and throat are equally relaxing. Allow the eyes to close. And as you close the eyes, softening the eyes away from the eyelids. And then letting the jaw loosen so the mouth feels relaxed. With the full awareness on the breathing, let the whole body relax towards the floor. Each exhalation, letting the body become heavier and heavier, so that you feel as though your body is melting into the ground. Imagining the brain melting inside the skull, melting towards the back of the head, softening and relaxing the mind. Bringing the full awareness to your breathing, to your belly, observing the rise and fall of your breath. Mind begins to wander. Just let whatever thought has arisen go and come back again to the steadiness of your breath. And taking a few more steady breaths. And as you breathe, being aware of the surroundings without opening the eyes, just aware of what space you're in, aware of any noises both inside and outside the room. Bringing the hands onto the abdomen, and for the next few breaths, sensing the rise and fall of the belly as you breathe. And then once you're ready, placing the feet down to the floor so the knees can rebend. And then you may like to raise the right arm alongside the right ear so it can be like a pillow to rest the head as you roll the whole body to the right side. And after taking a couple of breaths lying to the right side, then using the hands to gently push yourself back into a seated position. And again, taking whatever position feels comfortable to you. And then once you're ready, we'll join the hands together in front of the body. representing all aspects of yourself coming together in balance, in union, in yoga. Let the eyes close, finding a deep, steady breath. You might like to set an additional intention that as you move forwards from here today, the balance, the peace that you've cultivated for yourself, for your well-being, will continue on with you through your day, through your evening. And if you made an intention, then you might like to repeat that again to yourself in your mind, taking a moment to fully focus upon that. And then once you're ready, let the eyes reopen, creating a softness in the vision, softness in the jaw. Thank you for joining me here today. You might have noticed that it's a little darker than when I first began, as Bob wanted to keep on walking in front of the camera. And that's the beauty of the animals. Never quite know what they're going to do. And isn't it wonderful how amusing they are? So I hope you enjoyed your time here with me today. I hope to see you again soon. Namaste. Thank you.